All right, and welcome to the podcast on today's episode. So I wanted to do something different for today's episode. It's still kind of going to be about movies and television, but in a very different, very weird, I won't even say a weird way. It's just a very different way. So first of all, I just want to give something out there. So I'm actually recording this when BAFTA just happened. So first of all, of course, one battle after another's winning everything. So congratulations. I'm just super excited Sinners won like a couple of awards. And I know there was something that involved one of the John Davidson or whatever his name was, about the movie. I swear, look, I don't know what the deal is. I know the guy has Tourette's. I know he blurted out something he shouldn't have blurted out when it was Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo that was on stage. All I can say is that, one, racism has no place anywhere. Two, however, you don't know Tourette's. I definitely don't know Tourette's well because I never had that problem. All I know is that sometimes it's an uncontrollable tick, an urge to blurt out stuff. So, don't turn a saint into a sinner. No pun intended, but don't turn a saint into a sinner just for one bad thing. Look, this is one of those lose-lose situations no matter what happens. So, but on to today's episode. So I just want to say, within these past couple of months, I've been, I've been bored, a lot. It's because I've been unemployed for such a long time. I finally have a job now. It's an AV job, and I really enjoy it. I'm actually getting paid for good money because while that was happening, the only thing I could find were certain event staff, and then I used to do Uber Eats and DoorDash, and then if you know the story, my car got stolen in October, so there was no way for me to get income for a while. So I had to rely on event staffing, but it was just one venue, and that venue didn't have a lot of events happening every weekend. That would have been great for me specifically. But aside from the sad stories and stuff like that, I've been bored. So since August to now, I've been watching reaction videos. Now, in case y'all don't know, reaction videos are people who watch certain videos, listen to certain music and stuff like that, and they just react to it. Oftentimes it's like movies, music, television. So, and it's not the first time I've been watching reaction videos. I've seen a couple of reaction videos within the past couple of years. It used to be music and stuff. But most recently I've been watching it with people watching movies for the first time. A lot of times it's for me, it's hard to believe that most of these folks are saying this is our very first time watching this movie. And it's dude, these movies have been around for I'm not trying to cuss, guys. I know I've cussed a lot, but I'm going to try to control myself from then on. It's also something that I was inspired by church today. And yeah. So first of all, Pastor Ed, if you actually listen to my podcast, which I highly doubt you do, but if you somehow do, one, you're more than welcome to be on the podcast. I would love to have you on there because you seem to be a movie and music guy. Secondly, I'm going to give you a list of, videos or a list of YouTube channels of reaction channels that I watch. And again, some of those folks, I'm it's hard to believe y'all have not seen most of these movies for the very first time. If they're very movies that, people haven't watched then. One of them being Constantine. Constantine was not a popular movie until, right now, way over 20 years. It's built up since then, but I understand that. Some indie films I understand, but big budgeted films like Avatar. Okay, maybe Avatar seems like a lot of people don't watch, but Jurassic Park, Lord of the Rings, come on. How could you have not seen that? And Lord of the Rings was definitely one of those very first, maybe films that I see people react to, but there's a lot of them. Some of the most popular ones that I've seen are Lord of the Rings, Godzilla specifically -1, which, by the way, if y'all don't know, I have a Godzilla -1 episode that came out about around this time 2 years ago. So y'all should go check it out. We might do a recap episode because we got Godzilla -0 coming out. But yeah, it's that Lord of the Rings, Godzilla, a lot of great films. Okay, as the John Wick films I know are another ones that are the popular ones. So as I start seeing some of the films, especially in my head of what is it? I'm trying to think. Some of the films that I've seen that were reacted on those channels, I guess you can say. I understand maybe some of them don't remember or some of them never seen it, but it's like some of these trilogies, because yeah, there are trilogies and stuff like that. Again, hard to believe, but still. But to my point, I'm gonna name a couple of them. The top 3 are like my favorite ones of all time. So I just want to say, to anybody if any of y'all who I'm mentioning by name, if any of y'all somehow hear my podcast, somehow know about my podcast, I highly doubt it, but if y'all know about my podcast, or maybe if you have someone who knows about my podcast, I just want to say to each and every one of y'all, and I'm going to say it again at the end of the episode, if I remember to say it, you guys are more than welcome. You guys have an invitation to the podcast. I would love to have each and every one of y'all, on the show, just to interview y'all and just to talk with y'all and maybe give you guys a couple of good recommendational films. I might actually do that depending on which channel I'm going to talk about. And I know it's like, why don't you just give, the channels the same films and stuff like that? Well, I think there's some, I know this certain channel will like, and maybe this also certain channel will like. It just depends, because I know like how people are when it comes to certain films and stuff like that, because everybody's got different opinions. That's the great thing about film criticism. Actually, that should be what film criticism is. It's more opinionated rather than what is it, this film sucks, don't go watch it. When you watch it and it's like, what the hell are you talking about? This is a really great movie. What's wrong with you is pretty much what I'm saying. So first of all, if you're a film critic, say it as an opinion, not as a fact, unless it's like one of those like very crappy films. Yeah, I get you. But these aren't really critics, they're more like film lovers, almost so close to cinephiles, which is what I am. Weird to say something that has the word files in it, but cinephiles are people who really love film in the art form, and they can talk about certain things such as like the editing, the cinematography, pretty much most of the stuff. So I'm gonna name, for this segment, I'm gonna name 3 channels that I'm not going to dive deep into, because I don't watch all of their videos, or not even, I don't watch a lot of their videos as the top 3 I do. And for the record, this doesn't mean that like every channel the channels that I'm going to list here aren't good. They're really good channels that I think you should recommend. And I know there's a lot more. I just can't keep up with them all. So one of them, I'm going to name, his name is, I think, Alex Hefner. Alex Hefner, I know from reacting to music videos and music, like specifically rock and metal, because he usually started off saying rap head or rap fanatic or rap lover listens to this kind of rock song for the very first time. Some of them I call BS on it, and I'm not gonna lie, him and I would probably be really good friends. Maybe, I don't know. But Alex Hefner is a really interesting one. He's not like the big cinephiles and stuff like that. He's a movie goer or a movie watch. Basically, you just watch a movie and you think either I like it, or I didn't like it, or I understand it as much as others. That's what he kind of is. But and it's funny, his commentaries are pretty funny. But for the record, guys, if you're not a fan of people talking during the movies, that's what these people do. But they have commentary. One, they're not in theaters, so they're in the comfort of their home, so they're allowed to talk during the film. But 2, if you don't like commentaries or people talking during the movie, then maybe these videos are not for y'all. But I still highly recommend them, especially because like their reactions are pretty funny. But Alex Hefner has a lot of good funny reactions, like especially when it came to like John Wick, and which is funny because those are like the more recent films or the recent videos of him I saw. But Alex Hefner, y'all should give a watch. The other one is Flix Bliss or Bliss Flix. I get the 2 mixed up, but she is a Romanian girl who obviously she does watch movies and stuff like that. She has a pretty interesting YouTube channel. Y'all should go check it out, because I think she does more than just film reviews. I think some of them as well. But Flix Bliss or Blix Fliss, forgive me if I get the name mixed up. Yeah, she's a watcher from Romania. I don't know if she still lives in Romania or she lives somewhere else. But one, her accent's kind of cute. Never thought a Romanian accent would be cute. But two being is that like how I it's funny because like when she watches like an American style movie for the very first time, it's just like fun to see her reaction, especially because like the one recently I saw was the American Pie reaction. Now I saw that a couple of months back because it was one of those days when I was bored and watching pretty much needed something to do. And I don't know why, it was just nothing but American Pie reaction. But hers was like the one that stood out to me the most. The other one I like was what was it? Nosferatu. Just because, like, you know, if you know the story, like the cliche of, you know, because for those that don't know, Transylvania is in Romania. So you get what I mean? Like, she kind of gets that tiresome of like, oh, Romania, vampire, blah, 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 stuff like that. But I think she's really an interesting person. I think y'all should check it out as well. And if you like interesting European accents, that's the girl for you. There's her. The other one are the Real Rejects. I don't have much to say. I don't remember their names, so forgive me. But I've seen like 2 of y'all's videos, 2 or 3. Not counting mashups. I've watched a couple of mashup videos. But I don't remember the YouTube channels. But Real Rejects are interesting. Spartan and Pudgy, I think they're from Australia. Forgive me if Aga and I don't remember, but I've seen a couple of Spartan and Pudgy videos, specifically when it came to like the Avatar and Legend of Korra videos. They have really cool takes and stuff. And I didn't even know this Spartan, the guy, he's actually Greek. So when he was talking about Troy, when they saw Troy, he had a lot of input on it. So Spartan and Pudgy are ones that I think y'all should check out the most. Again, some of these guys and gals I didn't really dive deep into because I haven't seen a lot of their videos, because sometimes I don't even have time to. Other times I do have the time to, but then I just go to my top 3. But again, any of these folks, I do enjoy having inputs and intakes on. But you know, Alex, Bless, The Reject, and you know, Spartan and Pudgy, any of y'all are listening, or if y'all know someone that listens to my podcast, or if you get like a notification from somebody about my podcast, y'all have an open invitation to come on. I would love to interact with y'all. But yeah, I'm gonna take a break right now, and then we're gonna talk about you know, let's just go with the other three, but I'll talk about, I guess, places 2 and 3. So I don't like to talk about it, but I'll talk about other YouTube channels that I think y'all should recommend. All right, guys, and welcome back. So today we're gonna talk about right now we are gonna talk about one of the YouTube channels that I watch, and I think y'all should give a watch as well. So I was thinking, like, which one should I start off with? Who do I like the best? But I love them all. Even the ones that I've mentioned earlier. But I guess right now I could start off with Cinepals, because they were, I guess, one of the, like, I guess, top 3 that I watched the most. They were, I guess, the most recent videos I saw. I think the recent one I saw from them was the Constantine episode. And if I can be real, and I'm gonna be real, a lot of the video, so the Cinepals videos have many different people on the channel, and like, it's usually like 2 to 3 folks. It doesn't matter like who it is. It's just other people will share like what videos of what movies they have or haven't seen. Sometimes it could be twice depending on the people. So like they're like, just like the Real Rejects are like the same ones as well, where it's like, it's not just 1 or 2 of the same people every episode. There's actually different different people, there's different people on the channel, but like sometimes you get like the same person for a majority of the episodes. Sometimes you get a different set of folks for a majority of the episodes. Cinepals is just like that. I'm probably gonna say the same one for the other one that I'm about to say after I talk about Cinepals. But what I mean by I gotta be real is that my favorite episodes, and gosh, I'm gonna feel embarrassed talking about this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. It's oh man, once I say this, I'm probably gonna get a restraining order. But anyway, so a lot of the episodes I love the most is when Kristen Stephenson Pino is on the show, because oh man, she is beautiful. She's spunky. Okay, yeah. Like, I love those episodes with her. I just love her laugh. Her laugh is so contagious, and her laugh is also pretty cute as well. But the thing is, she's also very, like, emotional. And I don't mean that like a bad thing. I think it's because, and I think a lot of people are like this too, where they're so attached to a character or something, and then it just breaks them down. So it's not a bad thing. You get what I mean? Like, I didn't grow up with that, like, real men don't cry kind of thing. It's something that, like, emotions, sometimes we can't control our emotions. But yeah, my favorite episodes are whenever Kristen, Steffes, and Pino is on the show. I guess the other one would be Kilbo, which would be a recent episodes that I've seen. It's usually her, Achara Kirk. That I don't think Achara's on there the most. Ooh, let me see. I wonder, cause yes, yeah. So Kristen is on there the most. Yeah. So who is it? I think the other one is Brandon Sheely. I saw, I think, 2 episodes of. Well, I think one of them was the Van Helsing episode. JB? Is that how you say his name? JB Koei is also the one I've seen the most of. Was him and Achara. I think him and Achara are on there the most than Kristen is. Okay. And Michael. I actually do like Michael Booth. Michael Booth, I think like when it's Michael and then when it's Michael and Kristen, even with Kristen and Achara, I like when when it's all 3 of them in one episode. It's usually a treat. Let's see, who else is there? Kyle Potter, Justin Chang, Imitsa Hosen. I feel like there are others. Ashley Morgan. There's got to be a lot. I'm trying to think because like the very first like reaction video I saw from them was. Yeah, American Pie, but I forgot what Kristen was with somebody else. I forgot what her name was, and I think it had like a Hispanic name. That's all I remember. But anyway, their videos are very interesting. You know, they're like in the borderline of like between like moviegoer and cinephile, or at least film appreciator is what I would like to call it. You know what I mean? Like even when it comes to like a very crappy film, they still like to find like the positivities within that film. Usually if it's a movie that has good humor in it, they're gonna talk about it. But I think their channel is really, really great that I think y'all should recommend. I'm gonna be saying I recommend this, or I should recommend this to y'all so many times in this episode, but I do. I really, really do. I think like, man, and again, it's always hard to believe that, you know, they react to a film they've never seen before, and it varies. So like one of the episodes I saw from them, and rightfully so, Kristen had to be emotional for this one, and I really mean rightfully so, because it was a Schindler's List, and she said she's read the book, but I think like so if you ever wonder if I'm ever going to talk about Schindler's List, I'm probably going to, and I think I might have mentioned this already, but I probably am. The difficulty is the subject matter. The subject matter is the most difficult part, and how to break that down specifically. But eventually I will. It'll probably be late next season, so probably like January of 27 is when I'll talk about it, because we're way months past of Holocaust Remembrance Day, but I'll definitely talk about it. But I don't know. I really do like what they have to. I really do like their videos, and their reactions are super funny as well. Again, Kristen, even Achara has some very funny reactions to a lot of. If we're gonna watch a scary film, that's even more funnier. But anything that also makes Kristen laugh, again, I love that laugh. Is very cool. But Michael's an interesting guy. I think he's I don't know. I think Michael's Russian, because when we watched the John Wick episode, he was like. Very I think he knew some Russian, but I think also and an interesting fact, Kristen actually knows Japanese, and she's from El Paso, which is south of Texas, or southwest of Texas, I think. It's a border city. But I remember like when they were talking about John Wick and they talk about Baba Yaga, because if y'all don't know this, Baba Yaga does not mean boogeyman. Baba Yaga is a witch, a Slavic witch. And he was very on to like the definition of the Baba Yaga. He's like, it's not the boogeyman, it's a witch. So yeah, no, it's a very interesting film. I mean, anything that involves animals, they'll cry over, again, rightfully so. Like when you get to the Planet of the Apes episode. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting channel. Don't have much to say. So if I was to give them a recommendation, because there's a billion of them, there's a billion recommendations I could give to them. But if I can give them a recommendation, well, Kristen, please do this for me. But who could you watch this with? Because I would see Michael watching this. I would definitely see Achara watching this as well. Any of the guys, really. I mean, for stupid fun, y'all should watch the Haunted Mansion that came out like almost 3 years ago. That's the one. But for a real film, if y'all are big criers, which some of y'all are, not purposefully, I'm not trying to be a dick about it, but y'all should check out Beasts of the Southern Wild. I would recommend that to them. And if I ever came face to face with them, then I would say, yeah, y'all should check out Beasts of the Southern Wild. It's a very good film. It's definitely one of my top 5 favorite films of all time. And yes, I'll talk about my favorite films of all time. But yeah, I would recommend them Beasts of the Southern Wild. The other channel, and I think this is like when I really started getting into like movie and television reactions. One of them, and I've been watching them I think since 2022, is what is it? Okay, they're called the Normies. The Normies, they're just like just a bunch of young adults that just love movies. And here, okay, so how I discovered the Normies was if y'all remember, I used to work at a summer camp. My very first year, there was just so much, at least the first week, and then even training weeks, there's just so much time in the day, like so much time to relax. So I would just be on my laptop, just be like, okay, what do I do here? And then I just decided, what if I just watch them? Because I started rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender after this. So I was like, okay, let's see. And then I came across the Normies. The very first one, I think, was actually Sokka's teacher. And the reason why I like that one, and I think everybody's gonna agree why I like that one, that was the episode that we saw buff Uncle Iroh. For the record, I did that workout. It is a killer. And it's even difficult because you really can't, like, one, I don't know how to do pull-ups in general. All right, I had to use like this band that helped me. Two, a one-arm pull-up. Oh my gosh, bro, that's insane. But yeah, the Normies are a really, really good YouTube channel. So give me a second here. Now, here's the difference though. The Normies, of all of them, there's usually one that's actually seen, well, more movies than all of the others. So going down this list, there is Siraj. Some of them are gonna sound Indian. There is Siraj, Marquetta, Mickey, Chris is the one that's the more movie watcher of all of them. He'll be like, yeah, I remember seeing this in theaters. I'm like, bro, like, I mean, I guess there is fun when you watch there's fun when you watch a movie with folks that haven't seen this movie in the first place. Like, so okay, so if y'all remember my friend Kevin, I think we're trying to get him back on the podcast for an episode, but if y'all remember my friend Kevin, you guys obviously know this. Kevin has seen Weapons, and I think he said he already saw Final Destination Bloodline. And I've mentioned in the past how I saw those Weapons was one of my favorite films of 2025. So and Kevin was super down to watch both of them again, specifically Weapons the most. But we watched Final Destination Bloodlines first, and then we took a break. We went to snacks, and then we watched Weapons. So, dude, the reactions to, like, the way Asus reacted to a lot of, specifically the death scenes in Final Destination Bloodlines, it's just super, I'll be like, Asus, there's more to this death than you think you know. And then, yeah, dude, I mean, we all cheered when Tony Todd came up. I'm about to be tear-eyed from this one because I've always talked about when I met Tony Todd, and I don't hold that for granted. I am so glad I had that opportunity to meet him and had a good conversation with him, but we all cheered for him. And bro, dude, his reaction every time he saw Weapons, like every time the story changes, is like, he actually enjoyed it. He's like, man, whoever wrote and directed this should do one of these upcoming like one of these, like, what's the word? Like, legacy films like Nightmare on Elm Street or Friday the 13th, which I think would be interesting. I think Zach Cregger could actually do it. But yeah, but Chris Johnson that's his name. Chris Johnson is that one guy that's like, yeah, I've seen these movies, but you're definitely going to watch them. But yes, there is fun. And like when you already saw the movie, but then you're watching it with somebody who hasn't seen it, sometimes the inner person you doesn't want to like say anything or spoil it. You know, you don't want to be like Mark Ruffalo or who's the other one? I almost said Tom Felton. Tom Felton would be an interesting person to meet, by the way. But yeah. I almost said Tom Hiddleston. See, the MCU has a lot of Toms, but Tom Holland is what I'm trying to say. I'm not like Mark Ruffalo and Tom Holland. All right. Rana's another cutie. Navi, Pratik, and then some of the others I don't know too much. So hold on. I know there's others. Where's the token white boy usually in all of this? All right, give me a second. I know there are a lot more folks that usually are to this. Like I remember. Man, I forgot his name, but he didn't, like, they were talking about they were watching Kung Fu Panda, and it was the scene where was it Mr. Hong? Yeah, because James Hong. But he was talking about how, like, you know, Po was just like, it was like when they had to evacuate not the palace, but the valley, because Tai Lung was coming. And Po's just down because, like, he got that scroll and he didn't know what it meant. And he's just like, he's super down about it. Like, he felt like his life had purpose. So Mr. Hong was like saying, like, okay, I gotta tell you something that I've never told you before. And one of them just said, I screw pandas. Only he didn't say screw, but that had me laughing. It was basically when he was going to tell him the secret ingredient to a secret ingredient soup. yeah, I want to do my favorite trilogies. I think that's one I should talk about, but maybe next season, because I want to do something that I said I was probably gonna do, and I've yet to do it. So maybe, I don't know, I might do it after this episode, but we'll see. But yeah, no, these people, and it's funny, like I feel like, and no disrespect to them, and I always say no disrespect. Hopefully they don't feel disrespected. But I always feel like these are the type of friends you don't bring to the theater, because they're gonna be like shouting and screaming. We've all had those friends. And sometimes you feel like Tom Segura when he said, if you bring a baby to a theater, you're a POS, which he's not wrong. Like when I went to go watch the Batman, yeah, but it wasn't as bad as when I went to go see Doctor Strange. That one, and that was a front row too. Like literally the couple had to take their child out of the theater. So yeah, there's that. But again, I understand why, because sometimes you can't find a sitter or anyone to take care of. And especially like a lot of newborn moms don't want to abandon their children. And I can respect that. That means you got to start bootlegging. That's what I'm just going to say. All right, just start bootlegging. I will talk about bootlegging one of these days too. Anyway, but they're fun, but they're a fun reaction. They're fun, like I feel like them, like if they're in the theater and they have loud reactions, I don't think it would be a bad thing. I think it would be a funny thing and more entertaining thing. Like I feel like that would make the theater experience a lot more funnier and a lot more better if they were there. But I do like them. Again, my favorite episodes are usually the Avatar episodes. But they've done some. Usually Chris brings up like the kaiju films, like the Godzilla films and all that. Kill Bill, I think he said he did Kill Bill. Ooh, that's something I should talk about. Any of y'all that have seen Kill Bill, I know y'all had to do it because of like Volume 1 and Volume 2, because that's how Tarantino released it. But y'all all should do the and I mean all the ones that I'm talking about, even from the previous segment, from Alex Hefner to who I'm going to talk about after this break. But all of them should do Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair. And believe it or not, that was my first time ever watching Kill Bill. Don't hold it against me, y'all. But that was my first time watching Kill Bill, and I think if y'all have never seen Kill Bill, I think that's how y'all should watch it. Because watching it, volumes 1 and then volumes 2, and then next time on Kill Bill, previously on Kill Bill, I'm gonna kill Bill. I think that doesn't, I feel like that ruins the experience. But again, I know why, because, Tarantino couldn't release it all as one big film. But all of y'all should watch Kill Bill, the whole bloody affair, like in its entirety. It's going to be longer than most of y'all's episodes, but yeah, I think y'all should do that. Now, for the normies, what should I recommend y'all? Because again, first of all, any of y'all are welcome on the podcast. Again, if y'all and somehow listen, or if y'all know somebody that listens, or if somebody can like shows them this episode and they could come in, I would love to have y'all on the show. To my point, what do I recommend y'all? Because I think y'all seen everything that I could think of. Let me think. This is a tough one, because y'all are, and again, no disrespect, y'all are nerds, and I mean nerds in a good way. I mean, I'm a nerd too, and this is tough. I'm trying to think. Like, what could y'all watch? Like, because I wanted to more fit with y'all. So, y'all already saw... Actually, if y'all haven't seen their Terrifier episodes or any Terrifier reaction episodes, y'all should definitely watch those. It's so funny. Oh, man. And that's a good question. Who should watch them? Because all of them at the same time, it's funny. You guys are, I think, the most difficult one to think of. Because I only have one that I could think of, but that's not for y'all. That's for the last group. But, I mean, if y'all hear that one and y'all are interested, same thing if y'all are interested with Beasts of the Southern Wild, by all means, y'all should check those out. But what y'all should watch, and I mean this, it's like I have to look at y'all's, I guess, videography, I would say, of what y'all saw, because I know y'all didn't, because I can tell, I figured Cinepal's never seen Beast of the Southern Wild. Again, y'all should recommend that. I mean, I recommend that to y'all. Oh, let me think. What did y'all watch? I'm gonna actually go through y'all's list, or I got an idea. Which, for the record, while I'm looking stuff up, I don't have a Patreon yet. I think I'm about getting a Patreon. I know I mentioned that in the last episode. That's mostly just to get there, like, watch the uncut reactions of these episodes. But let me see. I should also recommend shows too. I mean, if I can't think of a movie, maybe a show. But even they've watched a lot of shows too. Wait, hold on. I'm thinking. I'm actually cooking. Let me check. Let me look. Let me think of this. Okay, maybe this actually helped. This does help. All right, so normies, I couldn't think of a film for y'all, but I did think of a show for y'all. Normies, I recommend y'all, and I'm pretty sure y'all get this a lot too, so maybe this doesn't change much, but also this is the best I could think of. I recommend with y'all Sons of Anarchy. I think I would definitely like the Sons of Anarchy. And then watch their next show, The Mayans MC, and even to Cinepals as well. Maybe I think y'all will like this a lot. And hopefully I don't steer y'all wrong, but Sons of Anarchy and Mayans MC. I give you I would like for y'all to I would like to recommend that for y'all, and I would like to see y'all's reaction to that. So yeah. So if y'all haven't heard of Cinepals or the Normies, I 100% recommend their channels. All right, I'm gonna take another break right now, and then I'm actually gonna talk about the one I'm definitely gonna take a deep dive into. So we're gonna take a break. All right, guys. Now I'm going to talk about the one YouTube channel, and I don't know. I guess the reason I lean to them a lot more is because they're the same two. They're the same two people in every video, which is weird because like Alex Hefner is by himself, Spartan and Pudgy is also by himself, Flex Bliss is also by herself. But I don't know. I feel like these two. I don't know. They have interesting stories and interesting takes and stuff about how they see film. I guess because they're like actual cinephiles themselves. And I guess that's why I gravitate to them a lot more. So the ones I'm going to talk about is they're called the Media Nights. Again, Media Nights, if y'all are listening to this, or if anybody who knows them is listening to this, open invitation, y'all are welcome on the podcast. But the thing is, the why I like the Media Nights is, again, their respect for films and genre and stuff like that, and even to like very crappy films, and it's not like they have like bad takes on certain films as well, especially like if we talk about like Alien vs. Predator Requiem. Y'all realize how bad that one was because you couldn't see crap, and there's just so much editing problems and storylines that it just didn't go well. But we give a lot of angry reviews on that film. They, however, do not. They just more of like, and I'm starting to become like this a little bit now. How it's like, yeah, there's only so much we can give it a positive for. You know what I mean? Because it's like, and I always harken back to Cody Leach. Cody Leach, I don't know. His film reaction is actually pretty funny. His film reviews, especially if it's a movie he really hated, he goes, "Screw this movie." Again, he doesn't say screw, but to my point, not the Cinephiles. That should be my YouTube channel if I did a reaction to Cinephile. But then it'd be flagged for a lot of reasons. But the Media Nights, they're not like that. They're not very harsh critically. They can give some grace, but they have interesting stories and backstories. Especially like I didn't even know that they grew up in Europe. You get what I mean? Because I don't know what their ethnicity is. I know because their names are Zari and Denise. I don't know their last names, but I think Zari is Hispanic, and I think Denise grew up in Germany, and I think she probably is. But I don't know. I just how I came across them is that I was just looking up a Lord of the Rings reactions, and I love the Lord of the Rings. I've talked about this so many times, and this year I'm definitely going to talk about 25th anniversary of Return of the King. I'm not Return of the King, the Fellowship of the Rings. And if my podcast keeps going, then I'll eventually end it with the Return of the King. Not the last episode ever, but obviously you get my point. But Denise has never seen, or Denise has seen the Lord of the Rings. Zari hasn't. And what I love about this not specifically like channel, but like these two people, is that one can be like, I have seen it, she hasn't seen it, or Zari has seen a film or a set of films, and Denise hasn't, and then vice versa. Denise has seen a film or a set of films, but Zari hasn't, and it's a first-time experience and it's a great experience for both of them. If I ever have a future wife, that's what I want, is to have that experience, to share that experience. And I guess that's what makes them a great couple, especially like when they watch shows. Like I haven't seen a lot of, or at least really any, like reactions to to shows, like TV shows. The only ones that I've seen was the Welcome to Derry reactions, and sometimes it's funny. I think they're the only reaction channel that I've been watching that did let's go back to Lord of the Rings real quick before I go to what I was about to say. The Lord of the Rings one, Denise has seen the Lord of the Rings, but she's never seen the extended version, and Zari hasn't seen them in general, and that was a great experience. It was a great experience seeing those for the very first time. Not the movies, but the channel for the very first time. the thing, guys, is that I'm different when it comes to Lord of the Rings. I always say if you haven't seen them, start off with the theatrical version and then the extended version. I know you guys are going to be like, but Gilbert, the extended versions are the best and there's so much. Yeah, I get it. But for a first time reactor, in my opinion, my personal opinion, guys, it becomes a chore to try to watch all 3 films because they're an hour longer than they should be. So it's like and plus like that's what my mind was able to comprehend when I saw the movies for the very first time, because I was like 5 to 7 when they all came out. So I guess that's how I would have done it, is watch them for the very first time theatrically. And if you weren't a fan, then you should watch the extended cut, and then you could gain a whole different perspective. Like I did. I gained a whole new perspective of the Lord of the Rings, and I was already a big fan of them in the first place. I really loved those films. And then when I saw the extended cuts for the very first time, I really loved them even more. But no, but what I was gonna say earlier was I think the Media Nights were the first reaction videos I seen that talked about the scary movies. Like the Wayans brother films. Now, I know there's a 6th one coming out. I am super excited about that. I know there's 0 Fs that are about to be given when it comes to, people's sensitivity. I am all for that. So I'm super excited about it, and I can't wait for their reaction. There's some so one of my favorite reactions to actually, the scary movies were like my favorite reactions to this series, especially like because Denise has seen them, Zari hasn't, and Zari's like super into them. And Denise, I swear, I don't know how you can continue laughing. I guess because she said she hasn't seen them in such a long time. But I guess like it feels like these people, not specifically just the Media Nights, but like everybody else that you watch these YouTube channel reactions to. You feel like you've seen them. But yeah, no, what else? One of my favorite ones is, oh man. I mean, it's weird because it's hard to think who could be my favorites of them ever. And truth be told, I don't know. Because it's like, the thing is, I don't try to rewatch these episodes at all. Mostly because they take a long ass time to, go through. Especially because, like, the thing is that sometimes, The one thing that always holds me back on these reaction videos is because of like by YouTube law, they cannot upload them watching the entire video. They have to cut it down like a lot, which is a problem that James A. Janice from Dead Meat has had within the past couple of months. Is that YouTube is very like strict on copyright and personal use. I think that's what it is. You have to have like so much of a film cut down, and sometimes I don't like that. But in the end, I get it, because if they don't, then they get copyrighted. But then the thing is, they can still get copyrighted even if you take a good chunk of the film off. And then you got to go back to the editing room and edit out some more crap. And then you got to go back, and then, yeah. But yeah, kudos to them. The thing I will say, guys, is, and I can probably relate back to the Media Nights eventually, but the thing is that, I usually, every time I watch these videos, these reaction videos, and I'm talking, first of all, just to get, longer content, I want to get at least the 40-minute mark on these episodes. But what I'm trying to say is that every time I watch these videos, I only stay till like when they watch or when they finish watching the film. I don't stay after the commentary tracks, or not the commentary tracks, but the commentary. Just because, like, I don't know, maybe I like it more when they're watching the videos and then just hearing them talk. I'm like, okay, yeah, we hear this so many times. Again, no disrespect to y'all. But I don't know, that's just me personally. I know some people might stay longer and watch the videos to the end. With them having commentary, because it's good to talk about films. I do it all the time, especially if I'm talking about, or if I'm talking with some friends, like with Jesus and I. I just thought of one that I can give to the Media Night. Maybe the Media Nights, but I'm gonna recommend a lot more films at the end of this, because I don't feel right giving the normies Sons of Anarchy and the Mayans MC, because that's just basic. But to the Media Nights, one, they have a sick title. Two, I don't know. I feel like I know them. I don't know them. I just know they are a married couple. And that's it. And they watch films. I don't know what they do in their personal lives and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to know. I feel like what's them watching the screen, and this also goes out to all the others, it felt like that's as much of like knowing them personally as I like to get to. But if they want to come on the podcast, I would love for that to happen. And then, like, the thing is, like, we all share the pain of, like, or the anger of certain things in films. You get what I mean? Like, when you watch when you watch their reactions to, like, you know, the Kung Fu Panda movies or the How to Train Your Dragon movies with, like, you know, Poe's backstory, or with the second film, which, by the way, the second film of How to Train Your Dragon, they got Cate Blanchett back, and I'm super excited about that. But knowing what the original second film did with the dad is gonna hit even harder, especially for me. But even with their reaction to Stoic's death, I mean, we share this reaction. Everybody shares that reaction. And I think that's the interesting thing, is that, like, even people who watch these videos, who are fans of these videos, which I'm going to be honest with you guys, I watch their videos, I don't subscribe. And I'm not saying that to be like, I don't even know what I'm trying to be like. I don't subscribe to any YouTube channel, not even my own. And it's weird because I own it. I don't subscribe to them because I hate getting notifications every like 5 seconds of something. You get what I mean? Like, what did I used to have something. Okay, so I used to play apps. I used to play games on my phones of apps. It was a solitaire game. And I hated getting a message every time, like almost every 30 minutes, I would get a message about, oh, come play your chance to win, or, you know, spin this wheel and stuff like that. And sometimes YouTube can be like that. And I get tired of getting threads notifications, especially when it's from folks I don't even know who they are. That's why I don't subscribe to YouTube channels, because then I get notifications, and sometimes I get tired of it. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of them, but I'll still watch your movies. I mean, I'll still watch your videos. You get what I mean? Because me not subscribing, that doesn't change, you know, y'all's success. You get what I mean? I always say, like, what does one person less have to do with it? I will still watch your videos. Watching your videos still, you know, helps the algorithm. And maybe I'll do more of these videos of, like, who else do I like to listen to, especially with people who like to watch comedy and stuff like that. But Media Nights is definitely that one I like going back to. Now, what movie do I recommend y'all specifically? I was on this film for a while, and if I ever had them on the podcast, I definitely would say I recommend The Great Beauty, an Italian film. I just come up with these films just based on, like, their personality and what I can tell from them. And from what I can tell, they would probably like The Great Beauty, an Italian film where when you watch it, you understand, like, what the title means. Plus, there's an opening sequence that I think they will really dig. Maybe even Cinepals. I don't know how they are with foreign films, but they should also watch Parasite and Amadeus, the Media Nights. Yeah, even Cinepals and the normies should check out Amadeus, because I remember Susan and I did a whole episode about Amadeus, and we really enjoyed it. But that's all I got for y'all. Yeah, like, I legit believe that maybe they should check out these films and stuff like that. And we always put them in the comments too. So, you know, to any of them, Alex, the normies, the Cinepals, Media Nights, I love you all. I love watching y'all's content. And again, y'all have an open invitation on this podcast. I would love to have you guys on this and recommend a lot of other films, and we could talk about films together, because that's what I like to do. You know, I know people have political content and different kinds of content that I can't vibe with. This is the content I can, so I really enjoyed it. But you guys are great. Please show this to them if y'all are listeners of me and watchers of them. I guess you could put it like that. But thank y'all for staying with me. Have a great night, day, morning, whenever you're listening to this. Signing off.